Hey everyone, and welcome to the internet. We're here to talk about my new product, an app known as Zora, which is the Croatian word for dawn. And I almost went there, but I realized that ducks and dish soap doesn't really sound like what I was going for. Before unveiling the masterpiece, though, let's talk about the mastermind. I am Corey Thornton Jr. Yep, Corey Jr. But that's just my name. I'm also lazy, idealistic, mostly honest, and a tad spoiled. So, in other words, I'm a 21-year-old in a pandemic. But hey, what a time to be legal, right? Now, while I am all the aforementioned things, I'm also confident, talented, and about 223 weeks deep in experience. Yes, I did the math, as an aspiring designer and entrepreneur. Now you know who I am. But why am I here? My job on this stage is to relate, motivate, and inspire everyone who forgot or never even realized how amazing and powerful they truly are. Thankfully, I was not alone on this journey. I am blessed to know and honored to have worked with my design team. The Zora team consisted of Milwaukee residents who are aware of community gaps and brave and capable people who are making changes to the world as they see fit. And they are my best friend, Julian White, a former DVC student acting as my design mentor. My other best friend, Kevin Diaz, a former UWM student acting as a tester. Ashley Melvin, close friend and UWM student athlete, acting as my second tester. And last but not least, my most recent employer, Ashley Steltenpole, as my professional mentor, who works as a media coordinator and designer for UWM Athletics. My team and I had a problem to solve. That problem is we're too dependent and distracted by other things and people, and we go looking for answers everywhere but ourselves all too often. While this is a problem to be addressed for everyone who can relate, this stems from a personal perspective. A wise man, known as Corey Jr., yours truly, said once, "There are problems that I have with myself and my community. Too many people are not embracing leadership. Too often, people, myself included, are looking for the answers to their problems through other people, technology, or things, and this has to change. In order to change, we must avert our eyes to the primary person, the primary resource that is ourselves." So, what's the solution? We've seen the problem. Now, let's address the solution. It's only 3 letters long: YOU. Now, bear with me and point your fingers at the screen for me. Okay, now how many fingers are pointing at the screen and how many are pointing right back at you? Another thing to consider with this exercise is to think about the fact that separate activities of your bones, limbs, and muscles are still connected. And that, human beings, is how you are the solution. Everything is connecting to create a new action, a new moment, and a new purpose. And Zora is going to help you and people like you dig into the depths of leadership and challenge users to become the leader they yearn to be. Now let's get into the nitty gritty and dive into the features of this app. Zora has quite a few features, including styles of different leaders and showing the positive and negative advantages and disadvantages that are associated with them, where they can be applied and whatnot. A network space that presents potential partners to create community collaboration and change. And badges rewarding user app engagement and participation. Now we know how to use Zora a little bit, so let's find out who is using Zora. This app is focused on young adults between the ages of 16 and 23 years of age, and people who know the struggles of the community and others and are willing to put forth their ideas to help solve those problems. Now, there are other apps out there focused on building people up to take control of their lives. Two examples of this are Inner Will Igniter and To Do. Igniter focuses on the core values and beliefs of users and helps them to lead themselves to more dynamic lives, while To Do is emphasizing scheduling commitments and event planning and execution. Both of these apps focus similarly on individual increase and individual satisfaction for the self, but the difference between them and Zora is the fact that Zora intends to create individual leaders but have a focus on compliance and collaboration with others. Some advantages between Zora and the rest is that one part of Zora's goal is individual confidence, but there's a second part of that mission that focuses on working inside out from the individual's growth to impact others. Zora is capable of connecting users to one another and empowering people to change their lives on their own terms. Zora has a lot of potential, and there are a lot of potential outcomes. One of those outcomes is creating a world, an outbreak, a uproar, a pandemic, if you will, of young, free, and wise, committed community leaders with experience who are willing to uplift the community with a plethora of like minded challengers, creating direct and indirect impacts on everyone around them. So, before you go, that concludes the main event for tonight. But before you leave, I wish to leave you with a few words of earnest wisdom and encouragement. Allow me to start with a couple of questions. What are you? What are we? We're humans. Duh, right? But be that as it may, human beings all desire and fear one thing: control. We worry about who's controlling what, how, and when, and often say to ourselves, if it were up to me, or something like that. But what if I told you right here, right now, that it is up to you? As a matter of fact, it's up to every one of us. To do what, you ask? Let me tell you. The very thing that we fear and desire simultaneously, that's completely and utterly up to us to obtain, is, you guessed it, control. We're all leaders in some way, and many people aren't aware of their potential and don't have a place to go or opportunities to nurture a livelihood of leadership. Zora is that place, that opportunity, and that answer. This team, my team, our team, is here for you. We're here to enlighten, educate, relate, motivate, and inspire those seeking the answers to their issues with themselves and their communities. Those seeking to become hometown heroes and heroines. Those who are tired of saying, if it were up to me. Zora guarantees an exemplary experience. We've opened the door and will keep it open so you can find your place as a committed community leader, finding where your skills can be deeply embraced, explored, and nurtured, so you can confidently say, it is up to me, and I have control. I'm Corey Thornton Jr., a 21-year-old aspiring designer and entrepreneur. Thank you. Peace.